On the last episode of Technical Journey Z.
You are going to become a Super Saiyan.
Me, a Super Saiyan?
Yes.
Congratulations, you've earned an entry-level position on the technical side of a company. All right. Let's talk about this new role. Your job is just as much learning how your company's software works as it is understanding where it fits into your industry. You're going to learn best practices, how things are supposed to work, and perhaps more importantly, what to do when things go wrong.
I was told that my production would only be down for 2 hours, but it's been down for 3, and my production back up. My production's been down.
I'm going to discuss a few overarching concepts, as well as some specifics. So let's start with the big picture. Mastery. Accepting the inability to instantly master a subject. Yes, you are getting paid now. You're a professional, but that doesn't make you an expert yet. And as an entry-level employee, you aren't expected to be, so take the pressure off yourself. Besides, it's better to savor concepts than rush through them. It'll help you more fully absorb and understand each one for the future. On top of all the technical concepts you have to master, there are going to be many different administrative systems your workflow will touch on as well. So, learning your company's customer relationship systems, time tracking, and communication standards will eventually become second nature, but you have to put in the time now. Your company's software may not be something that anyone can just pick up and use. It may have many facets, each with their own subsystems and ways of doing things. Get familiar with the basics of as many subsystems as you can. Then let experience guide you towards the deep dives. As time goes on, you will find opportunities that naturally arise and allow for finding your way through the looking glass. Closed mouths don't get fed. People tend to assume you understand the material being presented unless you ask questions. But it can be intimidating to open yourself up to criticism or expose your ignorance. Trust me, asking your team for their suggestions will not only show that you value their experience, it also helps build trust and further strengthens your team. When you realize that your peers are there to help you and not judge you, then that fear will disappear.
You'll laugh at your fears when you find out who you really are. I know you don't believe
It's time
you already have
to get specific. Alright, let's start with the administrative. CRM, Real Life Customer Relationship Management Software. Your company probably has some sort of software for cataloging and looking up end users, employees, and other records. Your IT team will likely set you up with the necessary credentials and access. If your role touches end users, you're most likely only directing their issues to the appropriate folks who have more experience. There may be less complex issues that arise where you can attend to them personally, but for those tickets requiring a deep dive, your goal is to get them into the hands of an expert, getting certified, and grading certifications. Your company's software may offer certifications and require you to become certified. In that case, just like the end user, you will be required to take some form of class or test, and after you become certified, you may be involved with analyzing some of their submissions. Alright, let's move from administrative to technical specifics. Do you hear that? It must be a wild
Database.
Whether it's your company's flagship software product or some internal system that your department relies on, somewhere, somehow, I bet that data is stored in a database. And hey, you may already know the generics of SQL. But it's important to get familiar with the specific databases that your company uses. That way, you can start recognizing the syntax differences between the queries that you'll write. All right, now let's talk about everybody's favorite thing, scripting.
Reverse the following binary tree.
Just kidding. Whether you're troubleshooting an end user's spaghetti code or not, you're going to come across code that you didn't write. Being able to put yourself in somebody else's headspace is a valuable skill to develop. Anytime you can see code that somebody else wrote, try to learn something from it.
Your solutions have a time complexity evolving.
Our script produces really cool data, but how do I send it anywhere? That's where protocols come in. If your company's software affects or interacts with the outside world, then it likely adheres to one or more protocols. Figure out which ones your company uses to support its main functionalities, then gain a breadth of knowledge on how the protocol functions. Understanding the underlying technology that your software is built on will help lead you to deeper insights. On the next episode of Technical Journey Z. Keep striving to grow and improve. This year,
You're laying the foundation.
These androids are getting better, but this edge is not yet perfect. Don't just scrap this set for raw parts. This next version will be ultimate perfection.